This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. It is the AwesomeCast, time to get geeky, get awesome. AwesomeCast 723 here on this Tuesday evening in a warm Pittsburgh day. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on all the social medias and Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with the crew. And on the screen in the, what did they call it? The magic picture frame on Mr. Rogers. It's Katie Dudas is with us, the Dudders. How you doing, Katie?
Oh, I'm doing well. Did you say it was 723? Or did I just hear that in my head?
Yeah, I believe we're 723. Am I wrong?
Oh, it's show number 723. I was like, the time? You can see how well I'm doing today.
The time is 7:04.
Ding.
We're doing real well.
Fantastic. I am already excited to see how this day goes. But no, you just came off of doing the red carpet extravaganza for 412 Thrive this weekend, right?
Yeah, that was so much fun. We partnered with Vintage 416. We talked about it on the show last week, and we all had so much fun. All of the Thrivers that participated looked amazing, and I ended up buying my dress. I loved it so much.
Nice. Oh, which one? The purple one?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I'm trying to find the video. I know it went up the other day. The ones you guys had up there. Oh, no. Was that just a story? Oh, that must have been just a story then.
Oh.
Oh no, here it is. I found it. There you go. There's the one you guys put up there from the other day of this. Yeah, no, it was a great event there. And it was cool to go out there. I took a little bit of video for you guys, not this one, but yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, and I heard you. It sounded like you got more people came out than expected.
Yeah, we raised $1,700. There's me.
Nice. Very, very cool. 412thrive.org if you want to get more information. Follow all the social medias. And also with us of the iPhoneography podcast, Dave Podnar is with us. He has a thingy.
It's Dave Podnar.
Dave.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Like I said, the windows are open. The breeze is coming in. And it compares, especially a couple days ago when we were all freezing. It's crazy.
Time to turn down the space heaters. I like it. I like it. So awesome. So let's get into our
It's the awesome thing of the week.
So where do we start? I don't have my notes up, but I think Dave, actually, you have some media that goes with yours. Since I have it queued up, let's get that before that goes away.
Okay, so this is something I saw someone post on TikTok, and it's a sleep tracking app. Which there's tons of sleep tracking apps out there. I understand 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But this one will record your audio as you're sleeping. So it helps to plug it in because it will drain your battery.
That's scary.
Yes. Well, as far as I know, everything's held locally.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it will give you like a sleep pattern, where you're dreaming and where you're doing this.
And this is
on the phone.
Sleep cycle tracker and sounds.
No, thank you. Yes. And just keep it on the bed kind of next to you. Mm-hmm. So it just has to notice your breathing and movements and things like that. But I tested it last night and it kind of snips out where it hears noise.
Mm-hmm.
And it tries to say, okay, well, this is you snoring.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little snippets of snoring. So you can see how many times you snore, how many times you cough, how many times you're actually talking. You can hear me saying, Leo, don't bite me. Go sleep, Leo. Don't stop biting me when I talk to my cat. But there is a snippet in there. This is what I sent. This was under sleep talking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of mumbling, but there's a couple words that make sense.
Okay.
And it's just kind of neat to hear what you're saying in the middle of the night.
Okay, so you have the audio file here. Let's go and hit that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying there?
The first part, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. It sounds like fake English because it sounds like words, but you can't make it out. The second part is Charlie Barley.
Charlie Barley,
which is our nickname for our dog, Charlie. He's Charlie Barley.
Okay, then.
You know, we give second names to our pets. Rosie Rita, Daisy Dukes, Leo is Mr. Leo, Belle is Baby Belle.
So you're still interacting.
Charlie Barley.
You're still interacting with your pets at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently I was dreaming something. Charlie Barley.
Is this one of the animals that maybe would climb on you in the middle of the night as well?
No.
Okay.
That's the weird thing is that he sleeps. And sorry if this is TMI, everyone, but he sleeps with Ruth, and Ruth sleeps in a different room. So he sleeps with Ruth, and the cats come around me. So I don't interact with him at night.
Okay, interesting. So, versus like ours is like our dog is completely shifting between the two of us, like all, and getting in the way and everything. So I could see us kind of responding to it. So.
And the nice thing is with the app, and I'm opening up here real quick, it will tell you when it happened. So if you go to the journal, you can kind of scroll down. You can see your respiratory rate, ambient noise, how much you cough. Like I coughed 1 time per hour, which they consider high. But it'll tell you when it happened. So I actually had 24 selected sounds. And that one happened at, I believe, 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, sleep talking. There's 1 to 2:12 for me, 1 to 4:29, 6:30, 6:31, and all the times. And I don't. Hopefully, this isn't excessive, but all the times I've snored.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
So this is all the times I snored.
Interesting. So I'm kind of curious.
So it will give me the time and everything. Yeah.
How this would work if you were in a double bed with your partner, you know, like is it gonna? It's probably gonna pick up everything, right? And
there is an option though to if there's a partner. So I think the idea is you put it on your side. Yeah. If you're on a partner, and it does something to try to cancel it out.
It probably like notices like this noise is closer than the other noise or something, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
And we'll give you, like I said, after 5 nights, it give you different statistics, what's going on. Again, to give you that journal. There's different programs like Relax from Stress, Daytime Hacks. Now, one thing I don't like about it is you do have to create an account and a trial to even try it. But you can cancel and then just use the free features. Okay. So it isn't a matter of sign up for the free, it isn't, well, use this for free and then sign up for something else. Another app that I tried, Halide, which is a camera app. Same way. You have to sign up to even try it. It won't even let you try it without paying, without signing up. If you sign up for a year of Halide, it'll give you a 7-week trial and you can cancel after that week. This is very similar to that too. Okay.
That's cool. And so, and also like a lot of these, the Apple Health app actually does a lot of sleep stuff. Like I've actually, so they kind of Sherlocked a lot of these, but this is doing something additional with the sound and the snoring, tracking and things like that. So, Katie, are you looking at anything like this? I think you've played with some sleep trackers in the past.
Yeah, not so much anymore. Like I've kind of gotten away with it because I have my Apple Watch will not make it through that long of a time with the batteries kind of a bit. But I'm very curious because I am sure I don't think I talk as much as I going to know about the cough, like to see if that's like a disrupting thing.
Yes.
Because you'll just be awake and you're like, why am I awake? And it could be that, we have a cough happening or something else happening, or I talk to the cats too.
Or does it correspond, or does it correspond when your partner's coughing, too, because that can definitely wake you up a bit as well if they're having a coughing fit too. So, and that is Sleep Cycle Trackers and Sounds. What's the what's the subscription on that one?
Let me bring it up here. I have to look.
Aren't they supposed?
Because I'm definitely going to cancel it beforehand.
Aren't they supposed to put that in the app listing or something? Because it says that there's in apps, but
it's $40 for a year.
Okay. which isn't terribly bad. But if you want to try it
No.
out, that's a little much. So
Yeah, and also I downloaded it for two reasons. One, I saw it's a science creator named Ivy Doll on TikTok. She actually did it, and she actually recorded herself, and she was saying something sciencey related in her sleep. And I got the warning on my Apple Watch that, hey, you may have some sleep apnea issues. I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. So let me see if I can get something else to try and see if I also have, sleep issues.
Yeah, so you're
before talking to
you have a signal that you're trying to narrow down here. So
exactly.
that's good. Yeah. That's good. And that's kind of nice that you do have that. And it says, hey, maybe you should check this out. I'm definitely appreciating that side of things. So let's go with, for awesome thing of the week, the Dudders.
It's Katie Dudders.
All right. So this guy is called, it's Totem, and it's a Totem Compass. And what you use it for is if you're at a festival, especially is the original intent for this. And it's a little necklace that you wear, and it's got different colors. So you essentially, 4 folks are connected in this mesh network at a time. And you assign folks a different color. So somebody is red, somebody is blue, somebody is green, and somebody's yellow in your group. And essentially it'll help you find them. So if you can't find your friend in a specific, you're at some sort of outdoor concert and you can't find your friend, you're able to find them. It doesn't require any sort of Wi-Fi. It doesn't require any sort of cell signal. It's their own mesh network.
Okay.
And so you're able to find, your friends are in these particular areas, and it'll point you out in the direction, which is pretty cool. On the back is an SOS feature. So let's just say you're at a concert and you're outside and you're just getting actually overwhelmed and you want your friends to find you. You hold the SOS button on the back, and your color will blink fast, and so your friends know that they need to come find you. Because maybe, like I said, you're getting a little overwhelmed by things and being in an area. But it's really, really neat, and you can connect up to 4 at a time. So you can be creative with them. Like if you have somebody connected, 3 folks, and this guy is connected to that guy, whatever, and so on. So you can connect a decent amount of folks. So the range on it is over 1,000 meters.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer range between any 2 totem compasses extends for over 1,000 meters. Yeah. It's just even if they're not part of your group, you can still connect with that network. That's how large of a network. It's waterproof, I think it's, don't worry about rain, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Waterproof. Yeah, it's waterproof. Yeah, it's really, really cool. This is such a neat thing. And also the colors, when it's straight down, respond to the music. So as you're talking or as there's music playing, your totem will go bloop, 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 with the color, along with the music.
So that's
or your own voice.
I like that because that does solve a couple of problems, doesn't it? Because if you're at a giant concert, or festival or something, usually cell service is pretty much biffed because of the mass of people. Ideally the 5G pluses and or what's the other one, ultra wide or wideband or something is supposed to solve that, but that's not always the case. So you're solving that problem by keeping it off all those networks, right? So I would love to see this. This would have been something ideal for when you go to the Gathering of Juggalos for 4 days or something.
Yeah.
Like that. I do wonder what the lifetime, the life of this is though for something like that. But still, even that, I could even see us using it when we're on site for something like Baja. To help with locating, hey, I need some help over here, and keeps that going. So wait, so how does it? So actually, it actually kind of holds up and it does point you in the direction. Like a compass, like its namesake.
Yeah. So if you're holding it there, you're do you know how when you lose something you're trying to find your device or find your whatever, and it kind of around the circle kind of boop, boop, you got to go this way, so it kind of gives you that direction. It's a similar thing. It'll light in the direction where your friend is standing.
Okay, I see it here in the video. Yeah, you can see a little green thing around it. It's not a very big thing or anything like that. It's I don't know what you can. It's just a little puck that fits in your hand. So
battery life when you're in vibe mode, which is where all the colors and all the fun things, is 10 to 14 hours. Eco mode is 24 plus hours. so it's a decent amount of charge on it too. It's
Mhm.
really neat.
I can see this also for like families at sporting events.
Amusement parks.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because like you said, you can go on a wet ride as long as you don't submerge it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And like I said, it's convenient. You don't have to worry about, it's not like a cell phone where you have to pull it out and figure things out. So this is great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So go check it out. That's at totemlabs.com. And and they retail, it looks like they retail for about it looks like they were selling them for $69. It's $69 per unit if you buy 3, I think. Let's see. I think they, you knock down to 1. No, they're generally and they say they're officially released, it says in I think it said fall of 24. Although there is like a release tracker, rollout tracker that is in progress. So they're still working stuff out. Oh yeah, they're at the, like, this is where we're at for orders fulfilled and everything like that. So all January orders are expected to ship end of March. Last updated. So it could be, if you order this now, it might be a couple months. These guys are still an early kind of rollout for something like this. So it's like an early Kickstarter type of thing, post Kickstarter type of thing, I guess. So cool festivals they have in here. But anyways,
I know. I want to go to your cool festival, friends.
exactly, right? So, well, there's always the gathering. Hey guys, you remember TweetDeck? Big fan of it back in the day. Katie, you probably used a little bit of TweetDeck, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that's how you just pull that thing up during like events, and there's all your accounts and everything, and you can cross post and do everything you need. Well, somebody put together something called Deck.blue. That's the website as well, Deck.blue. And if it is for your BlueSky, so you can have up to 3 accounts in there. So I have, my typical, my personal Sorgatron account, Wrestling Mayhem Show, and AwesomeCast in here, and it feels so much like that. So I got my notifications across the board for all 3 of the accounts. Hey, look, there's Dave there messaging somebody and everything like that, and somebody's replying to something on AwesomeCast. Oh, this is fun. Somebody actually replied to the TikTok situation, the TikTok universities, and telling us about all the other resources and stuff, right? So very, very cool. So no, and you can add more. I believe they have a Patreon to add another account to it. So there is a little bit of pay to it, but in the meantime, if you only have 3 accounts, that's all you need. It's kind of the perfect thing for something like that, and it does kind of like update and everything too. I wish I had something more like this for my Mastodons and stuff like that. Honestly, the best thing would be, I guess I'm thinking back to the days of Hootsuite where I could have all the accounts in one place like that, but even that got messy on Hootsuite after a while. But that's one thing that's helping me kind of digest what's going on with BlueSky, as we're, dealing with all these new social media accounts and everything like that. But it is nice that, because that's the thing, like I pull it up on the phone or the website, and the thing that I do like from the old Twitter that it feels like nobody has is I can be in my personal account, see something about that's like, say, news for AwesomeCast or news for, or reply for something for the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and retweet that with a quote to that account while in my personal account, because that's where most of the things I follow are going to be, because that's where I live, versus like I don't really live in the podcast accounts, right? But I still want to interact with them. Outside of it, there's a pay-per-view. I'll live in the Mayhem Show account and just push everything out through there. But now, so this really kind of streamlines it a little bit more. And gets around that, and it's to the point where like I'm this close to looking at the Patreon and maybe advancing that out so I can keep an eye on, the couple other accounts like our Indie Wrestling US and the other podcasts or 2 that we have that we're keeping an eye on. So Deck.blue, and Katie is bringing back to the day here.
Yeah, it's back when we used to enjoy that.
I know, right? Back when we used to enjoy social media.
Yeah.
So, and I've been hearing a lot of people say that BlueSky's where it's at. They said they're liking the vibe there and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, it's like the original vibe, right? So, back in the day. So it's really cool that somebody's brought this around. And again, I hope there is a lot more coming up. I mean, Ivory, I've mentioned on the show before, does for Mastodon, I think, a little bit what this does, although it's not, it doesn't feel as clean. Like, it doesn't feel like it updates as easily and stuff like that. And I keep kind of forgetting to use it, to be quite honest. But it is also like another app that kind of loads. And I mean, even as you pull it up, like, it's relatively the same vibe here. But again, like, you'll load it, you'll load it, and it doesn't seem to like auto load as you go. Seems to be the issue. And just, kind of generally I don't see a lot of interaction over there in general. So, but we're out there and we're keeping an eye on it, see what those conversations are. So, nope, that's here. I switched my buttons today, so I got to relearn them. So it happens when you take everything apart for a D&D show. So, speaking of which, I'll shout out that real quick. Our friends at Top Rope Tabletop started campaign 3. A whole new cast of characters. Our friends, pro wrestlers doing Dungeons and Dragons. I thought some people in this audience may be interested in that. So check that out. That's over on the IndieWrestling.us YouTube page. I actually threw all the episodes on there into a podcast feed if you want to catch up that way, which I think you can update them in order and everything like that through your podcast. However, we do podcasts through YouTube. And yeah, we had a lot of fun with that, and new vibe and everything for the show. And we have the dates. This is new. We have dates lined up through May right now, and maybe even one in June coming up. We were a lot more. They're getting a lot more serious about it. It's going to be a lot more regular, and we're really ramping up the quality on that. So give a shout out to those guys. Check out Top Rope Tabletop, IndieWrestling.us YouTube, and also on the IndieWrestling.network for a free watch over there as well. So. All right. And thank you to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. We, of course, put a little bit of extra content out there whenever we can after the show to record it. And thank you everybody that does support the show over there at the executive producer level: Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and Dave Podnar over there. I already hit your sounder today. So
yeah, one's enough.
Once is enough. So thank you guys so much. You can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. Let's see what else is going on. I didn't have an old thing of the week. I forgot to put an old thing in here. That's okay. We'll skip that.
Yep, it's the news.
And see what's going on out there. Podnar, you had an interesting post that I threw in here from the group about this Epcot looking thing.
Yes. So this is something that Toyota put together called Woven City.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an idea of Toyota saying, okay, we want to make a city that's kind of like they used to do, the city of the future.
Mm-hmm.
And for a car company, it's incredibly non-car centric. So the idea is that pretty much everything in this development is walkable, or there's little personal pods that you can take if it's a longer distance. All the delivery vehicles, so if something's coming to delivered or to park, that's all underneath. So you basically see no like vans or things going in or out, and it's because Toyota's, honestly, they've done this for at least a decade, I think, trying to say we're not a car company, we're a transportation company.
Mm-hmm.
Especially being in Japan, where the size of the area, a lot of people, small area, you can't put a big old pickup truck in that area.
Mm-hmm.
There's not room for it. It's not practical. Think about people who live in large cities like New York, where there are people who don't have driver's licenses. They don't have a car. They never did because they get on the subway or they take cabs if they need to go somewhere. And it's all, personalized that way. So this is kind of where Epcot originally, before Disney died, he wanted to make it a real community. He wanted to make it, okay, here's where the airport's going to be. Here's where the industry's going to be. He really wanted to make it like a utopia city of the future. And after he died, that kind of push went out. There wasn't anyone else to take that push, so they made it into the Epcot Center we know. So this is Toyota kind of picking up the slack and saying, okay, we want to see if we can design and build a small community of the future type thing. where it's not all car centric.
And this looks
And
like this looks like it's all
sorry.
concept video. It looks like a lot of renderings. You know, there's a robot dog that was cozying up to a grandma that looked pretty suspicious, for instance. So I mean, this is they're announcing the intention of something like this.
Yeah, well, actually, in February they had phase 1 building completion ceremony.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So let me they did it from CES.
Mm-hmm.
Groundbreaking in 2021. The buildings, the first stage were completed in October 2024, and the official launch is this fall.
And where is this? Is this in Japan?
It's in Japan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're actually giving names to the people living there and working there are called weavers.
Weavers.
In Woven City.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's something else of a population called weavers, I swear, from fiction.
Well, there's
Spiders.
the reavers.
The what?
Well, spiders.
Weaver spiders. That's what I went with.
but no, there were, what was it from? Firefly. Reavers.
Reavers. Okay.
Which is not a positive thing.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so basically, they like I said, they already built a couple cities. They have little pods where, like, food truck areas where people can test out things, and the chairman of Toyota is the one who's kind of behind a lot of this. So it's getting pushed from higher up.
Nice. What do you think, Katie? I mean, this. I mean, I keep thinking of like M City or something, but that's more of a test course than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, and Google wants to buy an island and make a Google City at some point too, or at least they used to. You know, what do you think about this?
I like it. It's cute. No, but I think it's such a neat idea, and I think the accessibility portion is really neat. Like, as far as like transforming essentially the mobility of the world, because it's, as much as, I don't know, like, because Pittsburgh is a quote unquote, livable city, and it's not unless you own a car. So this is kind of like, I like how this is addressing those particular things. I like looking at I also like all of the illustrations. It's such a nice, like, I don't know what kind of artwork that is, but it's neat.
Very feature positive. So,
which we need.
Yeah. You know, I new like, this is what I like. This is why I started the show. All the pie in the sky tech, positivity things. So we'll see where it goes, because of course, like, this is a high concept model, and hopefully ideas out of it, trickle out of something like this into our homes, right? And we get little bits of it here and there, of course. But there's always like, some things only work when you control top to bottom what's going on, right? And that unfortunately doesn't fit a lot of the a lot of communities out there. So but great for a suburban, probably. I wouldn't I wouldn't want to see the HOA contract for something like that. So
well, I can also see where this would be good for brownfields. Where you just don't want to put up necessarily a street grid and make it all car centric, but make it where, okay, well, there used to be a factory here. There's not a need for it. We just don't want to leave it empty. Let's do something different with it. Because this was actually built on an old factory, an old plant, it says here. And I don't want to butcher any of the names of where it's at, because it is in Japan, and I would butcher the names.
That's okay. We don't know where it's at anyways, right?
Yeah, so. Exactly.
So and that's kind of like, what we see around here. We see a lot of our old mill spaces are getting recast as aged shopping centers or tech hubs or something like that, right? Like, we're getting that down now, like the Hazelwood thing, where all the AI and everything seems to be going in, so it's another view on something like that. So very cool. The Woven City by Toyota. I wonder if we get Katie, I'm trying to remember if we get a lot of Toyota as sponsors at some of the SAE events that we do. I feel like they've been there, so I wonder if this will be something that they would be showcasing when they come by. I feel like Baja's had them a few times.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So that might be something we'll see a little bit more, and maybe I'll get to ask a Toyota rep a little bit more about it if we see it. If that happens, we'll bring back some reports from that. Okay, for you, Podnar.
That sounds good.
So awesome, Katie. What do you want to talk about next?
Ooh, it was I want to see your AI.
All right. Well, I got a new one. They were playing with this over on Twit this week, and they paid for it, and they were showing some of the stuff or maybe it was Twitter. It was maybe it was on whatever they call Twig now. This is Pika AI. I feel like it's come up before. So they actually have a couple things on it. Photo enhancers. You can restore old photos. They have a face swap and the headshot plus that you could bring stuff in and make a new headshot, which actually I had one I thought was generating. I got to see if it actually came in because it didn't like half of my pictures. So, oh no. Let's see what we can do there. Let me get this going and see if I can finish this process. But we were playing a little bit with the Face AI, and I actually did a new one here, so it wasn't just the ones that I shared with you guys earlier here in this chat. Here's a Severance one. I don't know if that looks so. Oh no, here it is. I don't know if that looks so much like me, but I guess it's me. Mixed with Adam Scott from Parks and Rec there for a Severance thing. I'll have to download that and send it too. Yeah, I did make a couple of videos here. No, there I am. Let's see if I can get this one up so you can actually see it. I took our buddy the Riz. There's a great meme from WrestleMania of The Rock and the Undertaker. So, well, I mean, it looks kind of like me, I guess. And it's got the audio to it and everything too. So you get the idea. Although I am loving the Riz's face stuck on the Rock pretty good. Like I'm kind of into this idea. But there was also another one. I was just playing with things. I was going to grab faces of people, and I grabbed the picture that I thought was going to be Katie. And it ended up tracking on my face instead, and I didn't notice until I hit render. So I'm like, well, I can't waste this. So there you go. I think it's going to be the show art for today, by the way. So you can check that out. There you go. And I'm still working on this the headshot thing. It doesn't like half of my photos that I put in here apparently. So we're going to let's hit retry and see what's going on. Okay, now it's doing this. So ideally it's going to take like it's like 6 to 8 of your selfies and things like that, and it's going to analyze that and make like an awesome headshot. Apparently this thing is like, if you want to pay for it to get like the AI credits and everything, it's something like $60 a year. If you get it through the app, it's in the Apple App Store for it. But to give you an idea, I want to do this and not close it so I can actually save this. Okay, that video is saved. So like, this is the idea for it. So there's a very, specified, of course, AI kind of thing. Like they're trying to make very, very pretty things. So and even some of these look like almost too polished up, right? To begin with. But the idea is we throw your picture in here, you generate it, and then it looks, it bumps you up a little bit to give you that like super, super gloss version of your of a headshot. So I don't know. I feel like if I use this, like they're just gonna think I'm a fake person on the internet. But even they have different packages here too for this part of it. To do like $9.99, $2.99, things like that for 4 unique photos, for instance. And then you got restoring old photos kind of thing on here. So you can do that. I mean, we've had a lot of luck with kind of upping old video and things like that. Like they're showing a picture that's all ripped up, and they're able to allegedly clean that up a little bit and make it look nice.
Oh, that's neat.
But also it's like, but they don't look real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like that guy's...
no, that's bad. That one's bad.
Yeah, that guy's features are really adjusted, aren't they? So
his not so bad. The woman on the far left, though.
Yeah, but also they didn't have a lot.
Looks like clay-like.
But also look how much, like
the original image kind of looks AI too.
She definitely has, like, it looks like they have a pretty filter on her, right? To make her look
Yeah.
like they took a little bit of the creases out and everything. It looks very man, like I don't know if I like this because it seems a little too like not Polar Express, but whatever the equivalent of Polar Express would be. This where there's AI people, but we're really trying to make it look like this, like this is too shiny in a certain point. So I don't know, like something like this works really well. Like I don't know, Dave, if you've noticed, because you do the clips for Fishing Without Bait, and I actually use an AI upscaler in CapCut for that. Because I think that your videos, because you're putting them on social, we talked about this before and I haven't looked at them lately, but generally like they seem to come in lower resolution when I get them. So I re-push them through it, and it makes everything look a lot cleaner. And I think they're the best videos we put out. If I knew a way to put it, because I'm doing a different workflow for these shows, I'd do the same thing here, honestly. But it's after we put all the text in and stuff, so I don't think the AI works as well for something like that.
Because AI hates text.
Yeah, it hates. Oh boy, it hates text, doesn't it? But so I've been trying to figure out that workflow again, and we're doing a lot of the stuff like for this, like we're using the AI to pick the clips, and I don't know how to also apply the filters because it's all through the web part of it for the workflow that we're working on. So I'm still trying to narrow that down and something like that. But still, having that stuff out there is really, getting eyeballs and people respond to Podnar talking about asteroids and things like that. So that is Pika-AI.com if you want to play with that. If you want to throw in just kind of like a face swap thing, just to kind of play with, I'm going to go put that Severance one in there because I know Chachi is definitely not down with this idea. So of course I'm going to send him another one. There you go. But that's been, in kind of an update to that, I've been using Sora when I need random background B-roll, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay. So you mean AI?
Yeah,
AI
like, hey,
Sora.
I need I was up against the deadline. I was like, oh, this thing's tonight. I didn't have time to make assets for it. So I went in and I was like, hey, give me some random Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing game kind of stuff, right? So in this case, and I just plugged in. It was the most generic term. It was just medieval D&D adventure or something like that, right? And it gave me stuff like this. It's just people around a table, and also like I'm blurring this as well, like putting it behind probably going to be putting a blur on it and everything. And then there's some like just random medieval town stuff with like knights on horses that look like they're about to run into each other, things like that. So again, it's just like stuff that I was looking for B-roll anyways, and I don't care if it's not like, because I think with the account that I have now, which is like the $20 a month ChatGPT, you get about you get like 720 is like where it maxes out, and there's a watermark. Now if you go in here, let's see if I can go into most recents. I can show you kind of where we ended up with that. And that was just this. Like, I just needed something in the background. You can see there's a little bit of the table in the background, and we throw a lot of our other elements on top of there, which I still need to update a lot of them, actually. So, yeah, and there's a little green screen in the corner that we threw in there. So that's completely cut off.
I like the green screen in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Again, honestly, that's the first thing that got my attention.
Yeah, something a little different. I just wanted people to know that it's like a little bit of a reboot to something like this, right? You just spruce that up, and hey, we made different graphics and everything for it, and really kind of tried to hone in a little bit more on the production side of it, rather than just, well, I set them up and they're going to play however they're going to play, and we're just going to put the cameras on them and make sure everybody's on a shot and walk away, So. But yeah, no, I think it came out. It was a lot tighter. I really liked how they went with it. But yeah, that's how Sora's kind of going with that. I don't know. This face swap? We could. Man, it's tempting to get into, right?
Well, I did download the app, and I tried to use the headshot generator. But that is a fee. You don't get any free for that.
Oh, well, it's not.
So if you want lower resolution, it's $2.99, or high resolution of $6.99.
Okay.
Which I hate to say it, I wanted to see the output before I pay for it.
Exactly. Like, what do you do to my face?
I don't want to pay the money before you show me what it's going to look like.
Have we talked about Playground on here? AI Playground on Apple?
I think a little bit, yeah.
So I have not been happy with what I look like in here. Oh, there's a lot of Riz examples. I have a lot of fun playing with Riz on this thing. By the way, I think Riz looks the best out of any of us. Honestly, he hates it, of course, but I think we're all just going to hate what it does to our faces, right?
Oh yeah,
just in general. So I keep torturing Riz with this. but let's be honest about this here for a moment. These are great. These are actually pretty great. He's most of the middle there, but also like then in like it does me. I put a beret on one time. And it's you know what? I guess that's not too far off. I don't actually hate this.
No, that actually looks like the only thing that's a little bit off is that it makes it look like you have short hair.
It does make it. There's Riz. That was fun. He's like, "Why am I bald?" I'm like, "It's all under the hat. Don't worry about it." That's when, he had steam coming out of his ear. He's like, "Why one ear?" This is the octopus taco I was trying to represent the other night. Bro, when I was in Philadelphia. I don't know what the footballs and cookies for some reason with Riz there. There's a very Einstein looking one for me. I don't know what this is. That's Shashi with fries. There's Katie with fries. So there's
Why
Riz.
does Riz look the best of any of us?
It doesn't okay, objectively, he looks the best out of any of us. He's just has, and there's just a bear with a tiger. Oh, I think this is supposed to be Pooh and Tigger. So, and I was trying to get dogs to high five.
Which it really can't. It really can't do.
I was trying to get animals to high five for one day. Oh, this is I was trying to do the camel, like the hump day camel thing. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I've been doing with it. And then like once I discovered that it's like a shortcut in messages, all bets were off for this kind of thing. So I've been having a little bit of fun with that. So that's Image Playground. You have it if you have, especially if you have a AI capable newer iPhone, which I guess includes this new 16E that they just announced last week. The $600 cheap phone, if you will. But you know,
well, you know what though? I heard someone talk about that, and they're saying, don't think about it as a cheap phone. Think about it as an enterprise phone.
Yeah, sure. You know,
so if you want to roll out iPhones to your staff, they don't need 3 cameras. They don't even need 2 cameras. They may need 1 camera.
Right.
You know, they don't necessarily need MagSafe. You need, though, long battery life. You want a nice size. You don't need the dynamic island. So
it's a good mom phone
for a corporation, too. Yeah, and for a corporation, and given the fact that it has, you know, it's not a couple generation old thing, it'll last you a few years. Yeah. So for a company, that would work out great. I mean, the battery life's the best of really any phone. Because it's got a big phone, and it has its. And the big news on that one is it has its Apple designed cellular chip.
First one.
So they're not using Qualcomm.
Yep. And that's something that's been in the works for a little bit. So, and this is also the phone that when you start seeing those deals, like, you know, I've been going to Planet Fitness a lot lately, so I see like, oh, we're going to give you an iPhone 15 for free kind of deal, right? Or a Boost Mobile or something like that. You know, this is that phone. This is the phone that's going to be like the giveaway phone, right? Very shortly, you know, after this first wave of things. So, which again, and it is would it be the lowest end phone, I think, that has Apple Intelligence. Well, I think if you have the Pro from last year, you do also still have it. But the
Pro, the 15 Pro.
They don't still sell the 15 Pro. They sell the 15 as kind of the cheap phone right now. But even the 15 starts at $699, which is interesting. So, but again, this is lower spec, more or less. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the same chip as the new ones. It's just like kind of a more deprecated one. You know,
the chip is the same one that's in the 16 non-Pro,
but it doesn't have. It's kind of like a M2 versus M2 Max kind of situation, right? Right. Or Celeron versus.
Don't get me wrong. Apple got rid of their budget phone.
Oh, they did.
You know, the S was the budget phone, and that is gone. This is the cheapest phone Apple has, but I wouldn't call it budget.
No, of course. And while I'm here, and I just saw this, and I haven't dove too much in it, there is a new iPad Air that just got announced today, I think, right? So
yeah, it was today. Yeah,
and it's with an M3 chip. Oh, there, let's go there. There's an M3 chip, and it's going to be available on the 12th. So, and what are those? And also, of course, built with Apple Intelligence. But I think it's first the M series has gone into the Air, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no. Last one was the M1.
Okay,
this is the M3.
Starts at $600. Not bad, actually, for 11-inch, and you got 13 starting at $800. So, $799. Excuse me. So, yeah, no, they're keeping up with that, and kind of delivering that promise and making sure everything has that Apple Intelligence on board. So, we'll see how those develop. If you need to upgrade your iPads, none of my iPads are on most recent OSs right now. It's one of those, like, I wish I had more recent iPads, but I don't really require them, if that makes sense. By comparison, I know this was something that happened with the Top Rope Tabletop. Justin Idle actually went out as a sort of gift upgrade for this. Got everybody, I don't know if this was a deal over Christmas he got, but he got everybody like $50 Kindles so they could pull up all their stats and everything and be uniformed instead of having like multiple different sizes of laptops and tablets and things across the board. So everybody has the same, form factor Kindle and everything like that. And it seemed to work relatively okay for them for something like that. Yeah, to me, that doesn't, I'm not editing on an iPad or anything. Like, give me my laptop. But I understand certain creators growing into that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm like, if you're at a certain starting point, that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it also depends on what you're. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Katie.
No, go ahead. No.
Well, I say it all depends on what you're editing with and what you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely use iPad. You can get it to work, but it's not optimal. If you're starting off, or if you're more comfortable with a tablet within a laptop, you want to do iMovie, or you're just starting to put things together. It's a little bit easier than. I mean, I hate to say it, the younger kids are not used to computer. When they think computer, they think a tablet.
Mm-hmm. And it is a computer. So, we're old school minded. Katie, your thoughts?
It's what your job is. Like, if you're a graphic designer, the iPad's the way to go. If you're any sort of drawing, that's the way to go. But like, I don't know, for us looking at specific, also, again, we're old. Like, I couldn't sit there and edit photos on it very easily. Like, if I had to do like a real quick, I guess that's also it. I guess it's also the amount of time we have to present the finished product. Like, if we were on the go all the time, 100% my iPad. But since we have the time to do things, it's like, all right, second monitor, laptop, let's go.
Or even and both of us have powerful laptops with us, that we can, and we're usually someplace where we can like sit at a table and take care of it, right? I think it's also something, if we had more time with these devices and found ourselves with more time with these devices, we would develop a better workflow.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I think that's it. Like, we go with what we know because we've been using it for so long. But if we found ourselves like, I think that's where like we end up pushing ourselves. Like, oh, I want to take this iPad and see if I can survive the entire weekend on a road with it. Which I know I can't, because, what if a client says, hey, can you fix this? And I'm like sitting there like, oh, I don't have Final Cut, in which I could if I had a brand new $1,500 iPad to do something like that. But in the meantime, it's just like, no, that doesn't actually work, for me, pal. So I don't know.
I think and I think the other thing is like, with certain types of, like, for example, I use Adobe for my editing, and I can't put it across multiple devices. So you're kind of just stuck. And I think a lot of that's with the other kinds of editing tools are just like, it's not like how it used to be, where you could share, like, press all my
you
devices.
can just plug your drive right into it now, Katie, remember? But also, what am I doing with my SD card to get it into the iPad? I did purchase, and I was gonna wait till it came in. I did finally purchase a connector for my iPhone cage. We were talking about the SSDs line, so I bought like a $25 like it's supposed to go into any video cage, and I want to try to throw a hard drive on there this weekend when we're going to do interviews and I want to try to shoot in ProRes on my phone, guys. Finally. I probably don't need ProRes. I typically do not operate in ProRes for what we do, but in this case, I'm going to try. 10-minute at a time interviews and whatnot, right? So we're gonna see how that goes, and I'm very interested to see how that is. But any of it, like to get have a little bit uncompressed. So Katie, I'm dipping my toe into this workflow a little bit. So we'll see where we go from that. At one of these days,
are we gonna take the first event and go and try like we're gonna go to an Arrow and just do everything on my iPad?
Try to do everything on your iPad? What kind of iPad do you have? Is it recent?
Yes. I was like, I don't know where my buddy's at.
Is it like an M series? Or the pros, I think.
That's how often. That's so sad. That's how often I've been playing with it. Is like I've been using it as to consume media.
It's a nice screen. Even these older ones are nice screens. So,
or I use it as a second monitor.
Yeah,
when I'm somewhere with my laptop, it's my second monitor. Like that's what it is for me right now.
Extended desktop thing because I have the two screens on my Mac Mini, and then I put the MacBook Pro right beside it, and I just use the same mouse across. It's so nice. It's like I can't work any other way. And then anything I can do with the Mac that I can do the second screen, they're all too slow, and it doesn't actually work too well. And whenever I use like Duet Display, my CPU goes through the roof, even on like an M series. Like it just massively just taxes everything, which is crazy on an M series. I think it's just like not optimized or something. So
I have a 10th gen.
You have a 10th gen. I don't know what that means anymore.
10.9 inch iPad, 10th gen with Wi-Fi, pink.
What was the chip?
Let's say, does it say what chip it is? The M.
I'm trying to find.
Is it M or A?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
A14 Bionic. A14.
Okay. But that's still A14, so that's like 4 phones ago. It's ish.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to edit photos on it, but I could do everything else on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That I normally do with this guy.
Oh, wait. You want to do all your email campaigns and everything on it?
Yeah, because I have.
Now you have my attention.
How I can do this? It's because I have this guy that we've talked about previously.
You have your full setup.
My Logitech,
yeah.
Okay, here's the challenge. I don't want you to completely handicap yourself. Bring both and see how far you last.
Yep.
Because I think we are in LA for, including travel days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 days plus travel. I want to see how far.
Yeah, I guess that's a long time.
We added some vacation days, so
yeah, that's right. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. I like this. I like this idea, and then you'll get a full use of that new setup. That was the one where it's like the full keyboard, mouse in a box setup, right?
Yep. Logitech
for your iPad.
Ooh.
I like it
with the trackpad.
We'll see you break that out on the plane. It is a bigger footprint than our 13-inch Macs, right? Yes. Anyway, I'm still afraid to pull my Mac out on the plane. I'm just afraid somebody's gonna bump their seat back and crack my screen. It's probably unrealistic, but I just can't. It just bothers the hell out of me.
If we weren't up on top of it, like, do you know what I mean? Like if we had more space because we're so tall and everything is like, there's not enough space.
Yeah.
Like, if I wasn't already taking up all the space and the area.
Oh yeah.
With my body.
And then I have 2 LA trips here in the next month too. And this weekend I'm going to LA. So that's going to be sleep. That's going to be a sleep trip right there. Anyways, on that note, I think we got into a lot of things. Yes, Mom, I think that's your next iPhone that they announced here. in the chat room. Mom Sorg's out there as well. And I better wrap this up because I didn't plug my iPad in or my MacBook in. What else is there? Where are we on time? Let me do this real quick because I really do. I got 5-ish minutes. BlueSky, have you seen the BlueSky base? What is happening with my hair right now, too? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing what's happening? It's like I got a static thing going on. It's because it's warm or something. Oh, it's everywhere. It's even worse now. What is happening here? Anyways, this will be great for the TikTok.
Let's see. We are having a drought warning today.
A what? A drought warning?
A drought warning. Yeah, because it's so dry.
Are you kidding me? It's been raining for ever. I guess there are fires in the south or something. All right, there you go. I did a little bit of adjustment. There you go. All fair. But anyways, BlueSky, there are these BlueSky related things. I think I misreported or misread this like several weeks ago. Like BlueSky is releasing a thing. So there are Instagram and I guess you can call them sort of video TikTok alternatives based on BlueSky on the protocol, which is what it's based off of, which I think is a very similar protocol. I think that's the same protocol they use Mastodon. It's a free, open, federated kind of thing. So there are a couple of apps here I want to identify for you guys to start playing with at least. Flashes is an Instagram-like thing. More or less what I think it does, if I understand this correctly, is it is actually looking at stuff that is on BlueSky. So it's not something different. If you're posting stuff to BlueSky, and if it's the mode in this app, it just kind of comes up in the app. Mom uses her iPad all the time, by the way. So if you go in here, Flashes is, let me get this in here. We can see kind of a real world version of this. So again, most of the stuff in here, this is my stuff, and this is literally just photos that I've posted on BlueSky. Right? If you go in here, and this is just because I was doing a lot of posts from that one show. Oh, they're blurred out because some of those are really bloody. They're really good about sensitive content on here, by the way. But this is just my feed. This is just all the photos from my feed. They pop up and it looks like Instagram, and it's pretty fantastic. But the other thing on here I wanted to bring up, I keep missing that button. The other thing I want to bring up is there's also that video version of this, and that is called Blue Screen. It's a little sideways smiley face, by the way, just like the blue screen of death that you get. And that is, and apologies for content here. Again, this is just looking at my feed and bringing up videos and GIFs. It looks like GIFs, maybe? That might be a real video. No, that's a GIF. That are a lot of political stuff in here, but a lot of wrestling stuff because it's my feed, and you can switch your feeds as well into other discovery and things like that too. So if you want to get away, especially as people are wanting to, I want to get away from TikTok, I want to get away from Instagram for all your reasons and everything like that. You can pop in here and see. As videos, it's so political. Stop it. I have filter words for a reason. But anyways, you kind of get the idea. Sorry, that last one was hilarious. God, everything is political. I can't get away from it.
You know what though? The Canadians are going hard. The Canadians are going hard.
All right, let's go to people I follow, perhaps. Okay, we're back into the wrestling. I'm better now. But never. Anyways, so that gives you the general idea, though. I don't know if some of these are loading, or is that just an image, or what's going on, or if I have internet issues, or maybe it just doesn't like it because I'm on a screen. There you go. So it loads, and you got a little bit of video action going on there. So again, another kind of delivery. It's kind of adapting what's already out there on this feed. And again, this is just what people post on BlueSky. People aren't specifically, you're not signing up. Sorry, the Andre the Giant just got me too. So you're not signing up for anything new. You're simply signing up with your BlueSky account, which already exists. And then if you're like, I want content in this way, it'll deliver that for you. So it's like a wrapper for your social media. Does that make sense, Katie?
Yeah, I like it. I like calling it.
So
it's almost a categorization.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Instead of saying here's my BlueSky feed with everything available, but I only want to see pictures. If you only want to see pictures, go to Flashes. That way it only pulls out the photos and says, okay, here's your photos from your feed and what you've posted. And you don't have to refollow anyone, because if you sign in using BlueSky, it just brings all your followers over. So you don't have to think, oh, this person I follow on this. I wonder if they got the same name on this they have on the other one. Oh, they may or may not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then it's all hunt and peck.
Very interesting. I like they're doing this. And these are not, I don't think BlueSky themselves are putting these together. I think these are other developers. So you also take that with a slight grain of salt as far as how updated they're going to be. But if everything's on the app protocol, everything should be pretty clean at that point too. So again, that's flashes and blue screen. I would just search for those along for you guys on audio. Flashes has a little bit of a storm cloud kind of icon to it, and then blue screen has that sideways kind of that sideways, you can't see it there, smiley face thing, like the blue screen of death on Windows, which is not comforting at all, by the way. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much, Dave Podnar, iPhoneography podcast, hanging with us.
Yep, Prof Pod and all the socials except for TikTok, which is still there.
Still around.
We may have only another month or so left, but it's
is that where we're at? I just thought we were just business as usual. So
no. It was just the takedown was delayed, I believe, 3 months.
We'll see what's happening. So
we may have
whatever
2 months or so.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. We may have more things to worry about by then. KatieDudas.com. You're the KatieDudas.com. You're going to add your .com to your BlueSky?
I should probably do that, huh?
Let me know if you need help. How are you with DNS records?
Oh, it's fine. It's good. We're good.
Okay, good. If you need a hand, give me a call. If anybody needs a hand. Anyways. What's that?
I said I probably will anyways.
There you go. We can have a DNS record meeting. Everybody, listen, anybody, here's what we'll do. Told me this. I just need one other person other than Katie to say they want this, and then we'll do it as a group project. We'll have coffee and DNS records. If you want to put your domain as your BlueSky, like I have at sorgatron.com, at awesomecast.com, things like that, bring your laptop. We will go sit down at an Eden Park and just around a big table and get everybody set up. Probably not use Eaton Park's Wi-Fi because it sucks. At least the one over here on Bagsville. Anyways, the newly remodeled, by the way. Ooh.
I know. I need to check it out.
I know. You need to take the tour, the grand tour. There's some neon lights in there. I know, right? They just took out a wall and it's so wide open in there now. So I love it. Guys, thank you so much. This has been your AwesomeCast. Please subscribe everywhere. It's worth subscribing to on your podcasting. On the YouTube, we are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be in the Ontario and Los Angeles areas this weekend visiting. I'm actually going to be at the SEMA Garage it's near Covina, California. I can't remember the name of it. It's got a really interesting name up there, but that's going to be for, I believe it is the SAE SoCal chapter. They're going to have a nice meeting there, and we're going to do some interviews. And I'm going to visit UCLA. I believe it's their Baja and their Formula teams that we're going to be visiting on Sunday. And then I'll be bouncing around and probably having a little bit of fun around LA. I already got a couple things planned. Maybe I'll tell you guys on Patreon what I got in store coming up that you can see. And follow everything. Again, sorgatron.com is my starting point. Although I do need to update some links on there because I don't even think new social media is on there yet. I don't even know if there was spaces for the new social media on there yet. But no, Sorgatron on all the platforms worth posting to, and some that are less worth posting to, honestly. But we do at least repost over there sometimes. So anyways, thank you guys so much. This has been your AwesomeCast. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay in His Envy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.